Herpaderp, what did you do? Okay, so we've got this clutch here, and we need to really look at it. It looks like somebody had a chisel on it. That's the backing plate. Alright, somebody has had this thing apart with heat. You can tell by the white paint. And that gib key looks like somebody beat the shit out of it. So anyway, here's the clutch discs that belonged, well, that were in here. As you can see, they have been superheated and just defaced on one side. So where's the other one? Okay, we got rain, man. Give me the other disc. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, these are just defaced. There's no friction disc left on this. This is old damage. They were about 150 bucks a piece. They were $150 a piece. Oh, is that
right?
Yeah, I do. So these are $159 a piece, both each. They're shot. This one's completely delaminated. There's no
a copper rod.
Huh? There's no fixing these, so you just throw them away. There you go, and they'll descale or whatnot. So Joseph's got this. I need to see what the plates look like here. So at some point, someone had that one facing that way, and then we've got this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these in. Are these the only two discs that came out?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take these in. We're going to flapper disc them.
What's a flapper disc?
On the flapper disc, this is basically sandpaper. We're going to take the edge off. We're going to take the crap that's on here off, so it's got a nice clean smooth surface. You can't have this stuff in there, it'll just completely destroy. This is the outside, which used to be on the inside, and then they turned it around, which is perfectly acceptable, but it does need to be a clean surface. So we're going to clean these surfaces up before we put the new parts in. I did buy new springs. Take that in there. Here's the old springs. What happens with springs is when you get them hot, and I'll tell you, when you get them hot, what happens to them? They compress, and you can see the difference. I'll have to take it out of there, but you can see that the spring has lost a 1/4 inch of its pressure. So the hotter they get, the weaker they get. They actually compress, and they won't put the right amount of pressure on the new disc or the new friction disc. So I bought all 8 springs. It's just a smart thing to do. Throw these things away, put the new ones in, get them to where they belong. There is a stuffer, that's the stuffer brake adjustment, which is right there, but there should be somewhere on here the proper thickness between here, which is going to be, I don't know. I'm going to have to go online or talk to my neighbor. There's no book in there, and I need a book. But I know somewhere on this machine, there is a spec for that, the crush, you know, what you would tighten that down to, so you get the proper tension on the friction disc. Usually it's like a dime thickness, but I don't know about this one. But they're all squished. All of them. They're all squished. You can see they're all pretty much the same size. So they've been hot, squashed, and if you're running a 4910, or any other Heston that has those discs on there, you really want to replace the springs. I mean, this baler only has, I don't know, what, 18,000 plus bales on it now, and those discs are completely shot. Not the discs, but the think, Wesley, think. The friction discs are completely shot, and the springs are compressed. So I suspect when I get that cleaned up and get it all back together again, that this baler is going to stuff a lot more material into that pre-charge chamber. So let's go flapper disc that and get on to the next thing that we do. See, the copper is embedded in it. You do want a nice smooth surface. You don't want a rough surface for this. Because the rough surface will take that right off. You won't have any. That $158 plate will be gone in a week. Wow, that's a tough one. So what you want to do is just break the glaze off. kind of crazy how.
Ooh, I thought it was hot for a second.
It's just that smooth that it
Yeah.
makes your skin feel like it's coming off. Alright. Just like to break that glaze a little bit. I mean,
Should you do it to that side too?
No, I don't need to, because this is the outside now. Which I think it should have been the inside, but somebody has just flipped it. I don't think it matters.
No, it looks
That
pretty.
I don't think it matters. Now, this here. Get the hard spots off. See all the dust coming off of it? It's all embedded in there. You can set that on. Unstable?
Mentally, yeah,
That's what I thought.
and physically.
Mentally, physically unstable? Why are you physically unstable?
80% nitroglycerin. If I step too hard, I'll explode.
Who the hell do you think you are? Freaking the Flash or some shit?
No,
No?
no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I could tell you don't move that fast.
You're funny.
I know it. Okay, so this is the fun part. You know they're shot when you can't even get the new ones on. How about them old ones? They fall right on, didn't they?
No, they're kind of a pain in the ass. I had to take 2 wrenches and pry them out.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh.
They're dirty.
Alright, so we got to figure out how to do this without fucking up the plates that are adhered to it.
Wire brush.
Good idea, Joe. You know where there's a wire brush, don't you?
I sure do.
Go get it. Okay, so this clutch has gotten so incredibly hot that it's actually turned the paint white, which is never any good. You got to have it. You really don't want that much heat there, because the hotter it gets, the less they grab, if you didn't know. So heat, friction, whatever, these plates become slippery, and the more it slips, the harder it is to make the baler bail, because it won't do it, because it's hot. And yeah, so that's why I took the glaze off of that, and I polished that up really good, got all the shit off of it, the old clutch disc. For the amount of money that you spend on these things, you get over $300, $320 into that. Just those 2 discs and the springs again, so I got like $400 into this thing. And you know, you just don't want to be wasting your money by not making it as solid as you can. I think if we just do it this way, it's probably better. Can you turn that flywheel maybe? Or no?
I cannot turn it anymore, because apparently I turned it backwards.
Oh. Well, I don't know. We'll just, yeah, you got something going on.
I turned it this way, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that the right way?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to turn it. I think we're good. I think I'd be able to force that on there. Oh. Actually, where's the old one? Do you know? I threw them someplace, didn't I? You get the old one and run it back and forth off of there. That should take some of the dirt off. Okay, so in order to get these on, you got to get it over the hump. Okay. What we'll do. Yay! Alright.
Then the thin one.
Another thing that's very important with these stupid things is that you don't wait too long to change those clutch plates out, because when they do get hot and they do warp, they'll wear the splines out on this housing here, on that shaft, and you really don't want to be replacing that hub, because that hub is not cheap. So you kind of gotta be vigilant. That's all I can say. Just be vigilant into what you're doing. And that's that. I can't believe, I mean, the difference between this, it's running steel on steel, which has no frictionability. No friction properties, I guess. Frictionability isn't even a word, I don't think. Is it a word?
I don't know.
It is now.
All right.
Because here in Pandy, whatever, what do you call it?
Pandyland.
Pandyland. Yeah, here on Pandyland, what we say is so. We work for the We Say So Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody is old enough to know who the We Say So Corporation is or was, please write it in the comments section below. Because what we say is so. Joe doesn't know.
I don't. Could you oh, wait, no, that defeats the purpose.
That it would. I'll tell you after you turn the camera off in a few minutes. Well, yeah. That should be fun, though. So I'm sure somebody knows who the We Say So Corporation was. Yeah, I used to have a lot more time on my hands when I was younger. I could watch a little bit of the boob tube. And that's probably something else somebody else doesn't know. They think it's a sexual term. Boob tube?
It's a TV.
It means TV, yeah. And why is it called a boob tube? Because we all look like a bunch of boobs standing around watching it. Right? That was the explanation that was given to me when I was a kid. What's a boob? You know, a boob. Boobs are birds.
Got blue-footed booby?
Yeah, the blue-footed booby. I believe they are indigenous to Australia or New Zealand. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90.
Someone ever told you should create like an online quiz of useless information?
It's funny. You ever watch the Pawn Stars?
Yeah.
Pawn Stars had this like useless information thing, and Chumley's running around with the Pawn Star thing. And he's like, how does he know this stuff? How does he know this? If the fucked up thing is, I don't have that book, but I knew a lot of the answers to that. And in the end of the show, he says, because Chumley's like Chumley, and I know it's probably all staged anyway. But the old man says to Richard, right? Richard Harrison, right? Isn't that
Rick.
Rick Harrison says to him, he says, didn't I buy you that book last year for Christmas? Yeah, but I wasn't going to tell him that. I thought it was freaking clever as hell. So,
All right.
Anyway, where and what are you doing?